Beanie maxing. All right, let's get serious. Last video got kind of cut off because of the storage got filled, so I apologize for that. But yeah, fuck, man. I'm sorry if you guys are enslaved, man. Here's the thing, man. You don't have to mentally feel like that, though. You know, you don't have to mentally feel like you're a slave. You know, you could. I'm not telling you to cope, okay? I'm not telling you to cope at all. Yeah, I don't really know, because here's the thing: if I do tell you some things, you might see it as cope, but it's not cope. What you could do is, um, you could slowly build towards your own independence, away from the corporate slavery, right? If that looks like living off grid, so be it. If that looks like investing so you retire early, so be it. You'll have to figure that one out for yourself and whatever you want personally that looks the best for you. You know, for some of you, it might be starting a farm. And if that's what you want to do, cool. I hope you fucking do that, man. I love farms. I love farmers. You know, but just remember the goal isn't slavery forever. You're not you're not in ancient Egypt anymore. You're not a peasant tied to a lord to work the fields. All right. If I'm moving a little, it's because it's fucking cold and I'm trying to retain some body heat. You know, I'm trying to. Anyway, I think I'm gonna start rocking the beanies a lot more, man. I think you know, I like them. But anyway, I just realized what kind of channel I kind of want, and it's I think it's mainly gonna be for the boys. You know, to have a little community of guys that just fucking are a little angry at the world, but they're not hopeless, they're not depressed. Even if you guys do feel like that, you know, it's just fuck the rest, right? It's just fuck the system and work towards breaking free, because that is what we're all trying to do. We're just trying to break free. It's dude, I went to a bar. I don't drink. I don't know why I went to the bar, but I just did. And they have non-alcoholic options and whatever. But there's this people say like alcohol makes the real you come out, right? I wouldn't fucking know. I never had it. But I couldn't help but notice that people still seemed a little fake even with alcohol in it, inside of their system. And I'm like, well, that can't be right. Is it is not the alcohol that's trying to make the real you come out, you're trying to get the alcohol, you're trying to get the real thing to come out, the real you to come out, but you're using alcohol as an excuse, right? Some people just drink for like to cope. Some people just like it, the feeling of it, the taste of it, whatever. But a lot of times the argument that people use to like relax, to loosen up, to get the real you sort of out there, it's alcohol, which is it's kind of sad in my opinion, because you're relying on a substance, you know, a very harmful substance, if I may say so myself, to try and get the real version of you to come out and express yourself and talk. It's kind of sad. So I was just looking around at the bar. I'm seeing all these people there. They're almost sort of like faking the happiness. They're faking their smiles. It seemed like that seemed like a cope. That seemed like a real coping mechanism. So with all that said, like I go out sometimes when I'm bored, just to explore, just to see what's up. And obviously, like if you live in like a Western country, people are gonna be a little colder. It's not like you're in I don't know, fucking Turkey or Italy or something like that, right? You're not in a warmer region. So people are gonna look at you like a fucking weirdo, like a creep, especially if you're a guy. If you're a guy, and this is like, if you're just not like, if you're flexing money, perhaps they'll be a little bit more comfortable with you. If you're like a guy that's like really elite level in terms of like money, looks, status, something like that, maybe they'll be a little bit more comfortable around you. Definitely status. If you're like famous, that's like one of the easier ones. But like, who isn't like, there are people out there who I didn't know are famous, but are just like in Hollywood and models and stuff. So it does become a little nuance, right? But the point is, a lot of us were average, not average, or like, sure, I don't like using the word average, but we're like normal guys. We're just a bunch of normal schizo. But we're fucking we're seen as creeps. We're seen as losers. If you don't feel like you're seen as that, um, yeah, man, I don't know what to tell you. And this is not me being like negative or anything. I'm just being realistic. You're you're a dude. You're a guy. You know, you're seen as a murderer. You're seen as the danger. You're seen as the rapist, the killer, the thief, whatever. You're seen as that. You're not seen, you know, um, you're not seen as like a woman. You're not seen as like this innocent, harmless sort of victim. And so you need to understand that as a guy. So when a lot of I see white knighting a lot. Um, yeah, man, just because you're a white knight, all women are queens. you know, they still see you as a creep. I hope you realize that. You're still seen as a weirdo, loser. Even as long as you're not able to like display like, hey, I have money, status, looks. If you're not able to like display that, I'm sorry, man, but that's okay because you're gonna have to. And this might sound sociopathic when I say this. Um, you're gonna have to fake it to some degree. You know, even you'd be surprised. Like even people with money, they fake a lot of things. They fake the maybe the amount of wealth or maybe the things that they're doing, right? Let's say like I don't know. Let's say there's a rich guy out there, millionaire, has like a penthouse, whatever. Um, he's gonna fake a party. He's gonna fake something, and you're gonna see that on his social media, and you'll be like, oh man, that dude has a party in the penthouse, man, and it's probably just like him, and like he invited like, I don't know, one of his friends over, or altered like the image on Photoshop or whatever. But the point is, you're gonna have to fake a lot of a lot of your like interactions with people, and that's fucked. I know that sounds fucked up, but if you don't, then you'll be seen as the creepy weirdo loser that you are, right? And then women are not, they're gonna avoid you actively. They don't, I I've noticed, like, when you're alone, you're seen as that. But if you're in a group of people and you're like friendly and talking to them, and you're seen as like, okay, this person is safe. You know, it's like that one Robert De Niro film, the Taxi Driver. That's that's uh that's sort of the average like experience a lot of guys like go through, man. When they're alone, they're seen as that. You know, women don't want to be around guys like that. They're scared. They are scared of that. No matter how hard the feminists try to like say like, oh, we're just as equal and strong as men and whatever bullshit. They don't want to be around. They don't want to be around taxi driver kind of guys, dude. The They don't want to be around that. It's frightens them. It's like a nightmare to them, man. But a lot of them are also very much broken too. I'll be honest. A lot of guys, they're still confused how women operate, but and you guys do have the right to be confused because they are complex. They're not simple creatures. And the more interactions they've had, the more experience they gained, the rougher it gets. The rougher it is for you as a man to deal with. You know, the women don't really care. I don't even think that they're aware, or necessarily, I don't think they acknowledge the fact that they are broken. You know how like some animals aren't aware of their own existence? Like if I don't know, if like a dog looks at itself in the mirror, it thinks it's a different dog, right? In the same way, like broken women cannot recognize that they are broken, and they believe that they are normal. So it's for you as a man, like I don't think it's a smart idea to go deal with a broken woman like that. And let's say you are the sucker who gets through, right? Let's say you got her attention, hypothetically. Who's to say now you're safe? You're the victim now, buddy. She's gonna make your life a living hell. You're gonna see that. I don't hope or wish this upon any of you guys. We're all just one community. We're all just the the guys, but chances are she'll cheat on you, man. Chances are she's gonna break your heart. I have a lot of friends, and they tell me they tell me the same things, man. Like it got to the point, one of my buddies, he told me he just ghosts the bitch right away, like after a week or like nothing more than a month, because that's all he sort of expects from them, and it's because he sorry, I'm just gonna adjust my seat. He told me like he usually when he ends up talking to them, they start becoming less and less interactive and engaging um, as time goes on, which is like it's true, right? If you're a guy and there's a girl you're talking to, most of the time, like as you guys keep talking to her, like she just slowly like ghosts you and disappears, right? It's like the first 1 or 2 days you guys talk the most, and then like by the third, fourth day, it's like less and less and less, and it finishes. So he just has this method now, um, and the method is 1 week to a month max of interaction. He says they usually come back though, which I also think sometimes it happens. Yeah, sometimes they'll come back because they might not be getting the attention from someone else. Um, but again, like that's also another test. They're just wondering if you're still there. So you got to play that carefully, right? Do you want to let them know that you're still there, or do you want to let them know like you moved on? You know, I usually like I'm just like, yeah, man, like I'm out. That's just me though, because I don't really have like time to waste, guys. But yeah, it's women don't really need us right now. It's fucked up. It sounds fucked up to say, but they don't really need us, man. You know, they work. Feminism, they can work. They have jobs. They make money. And I know that sucks, guys. I know. We want to be the providers, but they work. They don't make kids as much anymore. And even if they wanted to have a kid, they don't have to go to you. They could just go to a bank, right? Plasma bank. It's the removal of men from society. It's the removal of strong, masculine, providing men. We are seen as the threat. We are seen as the problem. It's fucked up. I know. I don't want to be seen as that. I want to be seen as a normal guy. I want to be seen as, but that's just what that's just what the social media wants. That's what the government wants. That's what corporations want. The elitists in general, they want strong men to be exited out of society. So there is there are only slaves left. They want to raise the children. They want to control the women. Um, I'm sorry, guys, but we're gonna have to stick together if we want to do anything. You have to be mentally strong and physically strong. You have to. You have to be like Alexander, or come close to it as much as you can. You do not divide the soldiers and the intellectuals and philosophers. You don't divide that. What you do is you combine them together. That's what Alexander was. a warrior king, strong, and an intellectual man. Anyway, guys, like I hope we build something, you know. I'm going to be constantly here, consistently uploading. So, give your boy a like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video, man. Take care of yourselves, all right? Do not ever fucking give in. No slave shit.